The following Let's Play has been rated not safe for young children. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found, Mwahaha! Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, stuff happened. But not really important stuff, because today we're going side questing. We are about to head to the end of the game, and so it would probably be a good idea to go after the last of the side quests. Which is actually pretty much all of the side quests, now that I think about it. I mean, I tried going after a couple before, for example, this training center, but I sort of failed at the training center, and there's also the sign subquest that I tried to go to, where there's that sign that didn't do anything before that I thought was a glitch until I was told otherwise. But then I was told to go somewhere else. I couldn't go back to the sign. But now I can go back to the sign and I can do every other subquest, so I'm going to do all the subquests today. So let's start off with this battle with Summon Ice. I have a feeling one of those things will be sort of immune to that. I was wrong. Wow, did that just one hit kill everything? Awesome. I am suddenly not entirely worried about this last stage of the training center. Maybe I could have done it at level 7. Ah well. You know, there's one thing I'm wondering. Will one of the subquests result in me leveling up to level 9? I know Ronan's story had a 1 or 2 extra levels you could gain because of subquests. And this will be... well, I don't know if it'll kill the tree. Let's see if it'll kill the tree. No, it did not kill the tree. That's okay, it'll only take one more hit from Rothgar. Oh wait, no, Rothgar's probably gonna miss. No! You can't call missing. Missing only happens when you don't want it to. Which is all the time. Except right now, in which I was trying to prove a point. But the point that I was trying to prove did not happen. Alright, I think this is as far as I made it into the training center whenever I was, I think, level 6? No, maybe not. Actually, I don't remember being able to reach these guys. I think it was that last group that kicked my butt. Well, in that case, I'm in good shape. Oh, this is an interesting battle formation. It's probably because of the setup with RG Maker 3's battles. You're restricted to a 9x9 grid, and some enemies take up more than one space, and so that's how they had to be arranged. The ogres take up like a plus sign on the grid, while the other two enemies just take up their one spot. I find that it is important to know the creation tool that you're playing a game on in order to play the game on Let's Playing it. Hold on, that didn't make as much sense as I wanted it to. Ah, whatever. It's just important to... oh, summon fire. He'll only be able to use this the one time, but that's okay. He'll only need to use it the one time. And that takes care of that. That was easy. Especially compared to before. Well, let's see. What do we get for the training center that? I read that. Well, how about that? You've cleared out the expert level. That means you win the prize. Congrats! You received the ancient crown. A crown, huh? Let's take a look at the crown. It's probably a key item. Yup. A mysterious relic from an old tomb. Maybe a scholar might know what it is. Sounds like an item for the academy. Oh, that reminds me. There is one subquest that we're not going to be able to complete, and that is, of course, the subquest in the casino, because I had no idea what the answers were supposed to be, and thus I had no chance of answering them correctly the first time I was there. But I have already ranted on that once or twice. By the way, to my understanding, I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the item that you win if you guess all the answers correctly, I think is an item or a spell or something that allows you to escape dungeons, which would have been pretty helpful for the tunnels. By the way, it is snowing. I mean, I know it doesn't look like very much snow there, but it's evening, and you can tell from here that it is in fact snowing. I find it neat that snow in RPG Maker 3, and I think rain also, are actually objects that are floating in the air and not just simple sprite particles. They're actually 3D things. You can tell because some of them just clip right through the screen. You'll probably notice that at some point. So, it's snowing. I definitely called it. And now that it's snowing, I'm willing to bet that several people created suicide. No, seriously, because this was the one weather effect, I'm doing hand motions, that everybody was waiting for. And especially that woman in the Northlands where there's already snow. She was saying how she didn't want to see snow before she died because that would mean the end of the world. Well, maybe she killed herself because she sure as heck didn't want to see the end of the world. So now that it's snowing, are people going to say different things? Well, I'm not really sure. They're saying things that I don't remember them saying, but they could have said them at some other point in the game and not simply because of the snow. I'm not sure whether I should go around talking to every townsfolk in the world anyway, especially on camera. By the way, I know some of you are going to be curious, so when you talk to this guy again, he says, "Congratulations for clearing out the expert level. That was quite a feat." So, you don't actually get to fight anymore. Not that you have to, but if you wanted to, for some reason, fight those enemies, well, you could always just go back to the abandoned cave that led to wherever it was. In fact, I'm heading there right now, because if you remember, there was a secret passage there with like a tombstone and another path downstairs. I have a feeling that something important is there, so I'm going to head right over there now, and I will meet you there. Alright, here we are at the spot that I was talking about. We'll just break away this wall here. There's some stairs over there, and there's a tombstone. Is there another breakable wall in here, though? No, I'd say not. I think there is another room across from on the other side of the wall, but there's a doorway over there that leads to it. So, what is this tombstone here? This tombstone is crumbling away. Something is growing near it. You found a medicinal herb! Awesome! We found out about that thing like episode 3? No, maybe 2. I don't know, it was a while. It was when we met that bird person in Eaneth that was looking for it, and I thought it might have been a party member that would join us. It'd be like, hey, let's grab the medicinal herb, and then we talk to the Birdman and he'd join us. Well, the Birdman did join us, but a different one. Medicinal herb, a strange herb that only grows near the lake. Not many what it is used for. Apparently that bird person does. Well, that's one subquest we're not going to worry about. You know, had I thought of it, I would have just come here first and then went back to Eaneth to tackle the training center and also deal with this medicinal herb thing. Oh well. So what else do we have down here? Actually, I'm not really sure. I mean, we got signs. Wait. That's a boss door. That's a boss door. And I'm willing to bet that's a boss door. Heimdall. You mean this thing here? If you recall, back in the Odin's Tower, we found this treasure chest. Lif. Okay. We found this treasure chest that was surrounded by these buttons, and if you pressed on a button, well, nothing appeared to happen. I suggested the possibility that pressing a button would give you a different treasure, which was indeed the case. Or it could have given you a monster fight, in which case, would you have not gotten any of these? Well, that kind of would have been lame. But basically what's going on here is we could only get one of these here items. I got the Mask of Heimdall, and you know, I'm kind of curious what the other items are. Or would have been. Well, let me go ahead and just finish this Heimdall thing, and then I'll look up the other ones real quick and let you know. By the way, from here on, I'm probably going to be running from all the battles. I won't necessarily show me running from all the battles, but I have no reason to fight them anymore. I mean, I've got plenty of money. That's probably enough to finish the game, so not really worried about it. You unlocked it with your Mask of Heimdall. And there's a pedestal there. I'm willing to bet that I'm going to have to be fighting something in here, so let me go ahead and equip the Ring of Solomon real quick. Nope, didn't fight anything. Maybe here? The ancient relic is responding to your Mask of Heimdall. The party acquired new skills. Oh, so it's that sort of thing, and we didn't get into a boss fight, so escape ring it is. We got new skills, huh? Alright. We got, for Hrothgar, we got Lightning Thrust, which is also magic. So he can use this 2 times. So, a sword thrust that is blessed by the lightning magic of Heimdall may cause the enemy to stop. Why does that keep happening? I'm fairly certain that Chronicle Games would not have missed part of the message like this. It's gotta be RPG Maker 3's fault. So let's see. 100 damage on a single enemy causes stop. Well, how much does this cause again? 140. So, oh well, this also causes damage for multiple enemies, or the whole enemy team, rather. So, I wonder how useful that is there. Well, okay, it's definitely more powerful than any of his other skills. So, let's see here. We got Lester, who has now got Godly Aid. A spell that greatly amplifies the party's attack power with the aid of Heimdall. That's gonna be pretty useful. So, War Song, let's see, that only raised our attack power by 20. This is gonna raise our attack power by 60. I am glad I'm going on these subquests. That is an awesome skill. Actually, it makes me wonder. Let's go back to Hrothgar here. He's got... Wait, I'm trying to think here. Will this affect... Well, I know raising your attack power doesn't actually affect these. In fact, yeah, your strength does not affect skill attacks. So if that's causing 85 damage, the Tainted Blade, which can poison enemies, so I might still use it to try to. But he's got a strength of 65, and this would boost his strength to... what was it? So basically, he'll be causing 125 damage with a single attack. So ultimately, it makes his skills kind of useless. But remember, this is a item of chance, the skill of chance. We could have gotten something other than Godly Aid. I'm glad I got Godly Aid. Definitely curious what the other skills would have been, though, that I would have learned. So, Ariel, she got Thor's Hammer. A spell blessed by the lightning of Heimdall that can stop the target. We're getting a lot of these stop skills. Are we actually going to find bosses that can be stopped? Because those last 2 bosses are immune to everything. And that might be the case with all the remaining bosses. Well, except the optional bosses that we're about to fight. Causes 100 damage, costs 40 MP. Oh, by the way, Light Blade, you see how down there it says Strong versus Almighty? In this game's terms, that means it's strong against Chaos. I gotta say, I don't really like RPG Maker 3's system of elements. It's rather confusing. I mean, I really prefer fire, ice, lightning, wind, water, that sort of thing. But with Strong versus Almighty, you really don't know what counts as Almighty. Well, now I do. And I'm sure the guide would have told me anyway. I wonder how much extra damage this would cause the Chaos then. Is it an extra 50% or is it doubled? I don't know. Well, this is definitely more powerful than anything else she's learned. Except this. I might be using this more often than not. Well, except to try to call stop. And finally, Aquila has Chain Reaction. A spell blessed by Heimdall that may stop the enemy. They're all stopping. Except for Lester's skill, which boosts everybody attack. But all these other skills are for stopping. Makes me wonder if the other skills would have been for other status effects. Like, would some of them may be poison or... I don't know. Tell you what, that's a pretty good amount of damage. Not as much as this, though. This was probably something I should have gotten while I was still here, before I leveled to 8. That's probably going to be the case with some of these subquests. We're going to either find enemies that are kind of easy because I'm over-leveled, or they're going to be skills that aren't quite as useful in this point of the game. Well, you gotta admit, the stop is still going to be pretty useful. In fact, with all of my party members casting stop, except Lester, should be pretty interesting to see how quickly I stop a boss. So give me a moment, I'm gonna look at the guide and figure out what the other skills might have been that I could have learned. Alright, having looked at the spell list for the characters and what they would learn from the other guys, there's such a variety of spells that there was no way I'd be able to remember to relay the information, cause like, for Fenrir, it would have been like, slow for Hrothgar and poison for Ariel. And like, for Lester, his spells would have been, I think one of them was raising the magic attack power of the party, and another was a defense of some sort. So yeah, if you're really curious, there is a download link in the description of this video that you can click on to download the game, and you can find the guide in there. Just look through the guide for everybody's spell list, and look for the spells that mention Heimdall, Fenrir, and Lif. Anyway, we are now back here in Eaneth to give this bird person here the medicinal herb that grows in rare places. Apparently the medicinal herb only grows near tombstones, of which there are notably not very many in this world. Would explain its rarity. Auk! Did you manage to find the medicinal herb I was looking for? I didn't even have to ask. Well, yeah, you didn't have to ask, but the fact that you told us sort of implied that we were supposed to. This is a video game after all. Please, will you trade it to me? I'll give you this strange gem that I found a while ago. Will you trade? I like that you're actually giving me the choice. I am, of course going to say yes. No, I'm going to say no. I'm kind of curious what happens if you say no. Oh, alright then. I suppose I had to find one on my own. Well, the good news is we can do this again in case we change our minds. Will you trade? Yes. Auk! Really? Thank you very much. Here is the gem I promised you. You exchanged the medicinal herb for an amethyst. Or amethyst. I've always pronounced it amethyst. But I guess that would be one syllable too many considering it looks like fist. Or feast. A strange gemstone with unknown properties. Maybe a scholar might know about it. So is another thing for the Academy in Sant Arde. We're going to be going there kind of later. Because, to my understanding, the other subquests are also going to give us stuff for the Academy. So, we're going to handle all that stuff at once. And Academy is pretty much going to be our last stop. Now, let me think. What else is there? Pretty sure there's Well, there is that sign in the second tunnel. Plus, there's another subquest in an abandoned town in the Woodwind Prairie. I think I'll go to Woodwind next. Now, I don't know what is going to happen with these last two missions, but they might involve boss battles. Could be both of them that involve boss battles, in fact. So, they might actually take a while. This episode, I think, if I had to guess, I'm probably somewhere at 15 to 20 minutes. So, I'm going to end the episode here. Next time, we're going to finish the rest of the subquests. I'll see you then. That is not where I was supposed to go. Which way am I going? I'm lost!